What is up, TCG gang? We are back this week for another remote video. And Team Kyle and I are going to be talking. What are we going to be talking about this week, Kyle?
The new Nitro Pepsi can that I've got right here that I'm about to open up. Nice and crisp. It probably won't even make a sound into the mic.
Yes, I can't wait for this video. And I'm going to break out the retro Mountain Dew soda cans that we're going to...
How did that explode? It wasn't even freaking shaken up. It's been literally been sitting here for like a half hour, and the damn can just exploded all over me.
And I'm talking Mountain Dew. Kyle's talking those Pepsi. Okay, I'll see you next week.
Oh, that is so weird. It is so weird.
Did you tried that Coke Starlight, right?
Yeah, I got another bottle of it in my fridge. I like it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Already going off on a tangent, but really, guys, we're going to be talking our top 10 NES console games for that console. Our top 10 games for the NES.
That's so weird. Like, my body's ready for like the fizziness to it because it doesn't have that, because it's used nitrogen instead.
Mm-hmm.
So my body keeps expecting that like fizzy feel to it, and then it's not there. And my brain is like, are we drinking something or not?
Okay, I'm gonna have to try this now.
Oh, that's so weird. You're supposed to pour it into a cup like a beer. It's supposed to be a craft Pepsi.
It's called Pepsi X, you said, right?
Alexa, shut up. I didn't ask you shit.
Alexa, always butting into our business.
Right?
I guess I gotta try that out. That sounds good, Kyle. But anyways, guys, we're gonna be ranking our top 10 NES games, and I don't know about you guys, but that was one of my favorite consoles growing up.
It's not one of my favorite consoles growing up. It's a good console, but
yeah,
it's not my favorite.
Yeah, we got it down. We have mine is down in the.
We'll be skipping my favorite because the top 10 will only be me making top 10 and Sean not doing any.
The NES, that mine was a hand-me-down, but it's currently down in the on our set there,
Yep.
in the basement. Sometimes we break it out and we play after our videos when we hang out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Definitely a fun console. The controller was it's kind of odd. It's kind of uncomfortable to hold after a long period of time. The SNES controller is definitely, I feel like it's
better,
a little smoother. Yeah, a little more comfortable to play for longer periods of time. Okay, so I guess I'll start here. So I will start with golf for NES. I know I'll start with the boring one. So honestly, guys, I don't have many to talk about because mine was a hand-me-down, and I bought a few games for that system, but I was really young, and I mainly played the ones that came with the console. My cousin it was a hand-me-down for my cousin. So these are the games that came with it, and I bought a couple. But I need to start collecting again for this console. But the golf was the original golf for NES. I mean, nothing spectacular, but it was fun. It was the first sports game that I've ever played. I remember that because just the basic golf game. Is Mario on that? I'm trying to remember if Mario is actually on the cover of that game. If it's supposed to be Mario.
Not officially Mario, but it is Mario type of thing.
Right. But I just remember playing first sports game I've ever played. Learning how to play golf. Used to play with my dad. Yeah, just a fun game for me. Not much else to say about it, but what about you, Kyle?
What, golf?
Yeah, you ever play golf?
Yes, I think I played it like once or twice. I couldn't really figure it out as a kid, or it just didn't work very well on my console or something like that. So I didn't really play it. I had a few games that just like did not want to work on my console for some reason or another.
Right. Yeah, even when we broke out my NES down in the basement, we had to, you broke out the rubbing alcohol, and we had to clean the pins.
Yep.
And then it started working again, but... Yeah, so that's my first one. I'll go with golf, but
okay.
I mean,
Yeah, so my first is going to be Legacy of the Wizard. It's a side-scrolling RPG where you're in this like guild, and you pick different people. Like I think, if I remember correctly, it's a wizard, a thief, a ranger, and I think like a druid or something like that. Basically, like typical Dungeons and Dragons classes. And you pick one of the characters, and you go descending into this dungeon. And basically, it's just this like giant dungeon. The game is pretty tough. You're supposed to like basically draw your own map as you play to try to learn the areas better and better.
Yep.
And when the characters die, you don't get a game over. You select a new character to pick from the guild until you're out of characters to pick, and then once they're all dead, that's when you get the game over.
Nice.
So you basically get like 4 lives or 5 lives or something like that. There might be one other class. I haven't played in a bit, but that's
one of the games you showed me. That game. It was in our other video, right? One of the games that you showed off.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we got to get around. We got to get around to actually trying that out downstairs one day.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
Good thing about our set, guys, is in the summertime, it stays nice and cool down there. Break out some video games, some NES, shoot some videos.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so that's your first. Back over to me, or you have anything else you want to wrap that one up?
No, that's about it for that one.
Nice. So my next one is going to be Duck Hunt. Now, who doesn't remember Duck Hunt? If you owned an NES, you had to have played Duck Hunt as a kid, or even still today. But most TVs, you still need that. Unfortunately, you do have to go back to the CRTV, right? The CR.
Yeah, the CRT TVs.
CRT TVs. Yes. So the light gun, I used to love. I love this game because it's the first game where you can actually take the arcade to your living room. In my eyes, I know obviously that's what the gaming consoles did in general, but this is the first one you can take an actual light gun or a gun and interact with a TV. It was so cool playing this growing up. And that little dog, forget his name, but the dog that laughs at you when you die or you run out of lives or
woo woo.
Yep. He just pops up from the grass and then chuckles and then ducks back down.
Yeah, it also had the disc throwing shooting thing, the clay shooting, whatever it was called.
Yes. Yep.
I was not good at that.
I don't think so. I don't think I was that good either. The light gun was just such a cool controller. Well, the way that you could just, it worked so well with the TVs back then.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you get fun fact, if you get too close, it's like the game knows you're trying to cheat. So you can't actually, if you're too close, it will not work. Remember that? You have to back up a little bit. It makes you back up a little.
No, you could put the thing like right up against the TV and shoot.
I don't remember it working for me.
Yeah. It couldn't I think touch the glass, but you had to pull it just to back a little bit.
Oh, okay, maybe. Okay, I take that back then. For some reason, I was maybe I'm thinking of something else, but still a fun game. The light is Nintendo bringing the light gun back? I heard. Are they bringing something back of that? A wireless one?
No, not that I know of, but I know House of the Dead or something like that comes out on the Switch this week.
Yeah, I did see that in the eShop.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, Duck Hunt for me. The game came out in 1984. I didn't own that console till, it might have been 7 or 8. So 1997 or 98. So
wow.
No, before then, because I had my N64. My parents got me that when it launched in 96. Mm-hmm. So I had the NES when I was 4 or 5. 1995 probably, or 94.
Yeah.
So first console. This game is probably one of my fondest memories of that console. But anyways, how about you? What's your next one? What's your next game?
So my next game is Dragon Quest. It's a RPG, one of the like more original first RPGs that were coming out, made by a little company. You may know at least half of what this company was, Squaresoft, before they were converged with Enix and became Square Enix. So Squaresoft created Dragon Quest, one of their best-selling of all-time RPG series. Even more than Final Fantasy, actually, because it just sells that well in Japan.
Yep.
Fun fact, though, you know why they're called Final Fantasy?
Does it have anything to do with Dragon Warrior being published as...
Yeah, well, technically it was Dragon Warrior. It's the original game's called Dragon Warrior in America, Dragon Quest in Japan. They became Dragon Quest later on because they just decided to make it that. But for some reason, I think the marketing teams were like, Quest, that sounds stupid. Let's make it Warrior. So that's like the first three are Dragon Warrior, and then after that, they all are Dragon Quest in America also.
Nice.
But you know why Final Fantasy is called Final Fantasy?
Why is that?
Because that was their last game, and if it didn't succeed, they were going to go out of business.
Really? I did not know that.
Yep. They were not having any... They were not doing well. Squaresoft was doing poorly, and they only had enough funds to make one more game, so they decided, let's try it, and they went out and they made Final Fantasy, the original, and they called it Final Fantasy because it was their final game that they were going to be making.
Yep.
And it was a fantasy game, so that's why they called it Final Fantasy. And it sold really well. So, yeah, they didn't go out of business.
Nice. The first Final Fantasy, that came out for the... What console did that come out for again? That's right, NES. The first first one, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find out when Final Fantasy... 1987.
Yep.
The first Dragon Warrior came out or Dragon's Quest Dragon Warrior came out in 1986, so a year before that.
Nice. Yeah, because I think the NES came out in 85. The actual console came out in 85.
Yeah. But yeah. Dragon Quest, great game. You play as one single character throughout the entire thing. The translations are not great. But if you play it with a guide, you can get through that game in probably like 6 to 8 hours. If you play it without a guide, we're probably looking at like 30 to 40. Because you're just going to be walking around trying to do random stuff forever. Yeah.
Yeah, not bad. I got to check that one out too. I did not. I don't have
the first one.
Nice.
I think I showed it.
All right. Yeah, I think I definitely remember you talking about that one. All right, so my next one, so game number 3 for me, the original Friday 13th, NES. And
sadly, it's the better versions of the Friday the 13th.
Yeah, and I'm just looking up to see what year that came out. Friday the 13th game.
Like 87, 88 probably, right?
Let's see, NES. Let's see if Kyle's right.
I'm just guessing.
1989.
I was close. I was off.
Yeah, so towards the end of that console's lifespan, that game I remember because I was a fan of the franchise, the horror movie franchise. So Kyle and I were in GameStop. I think he was with me, and I spotted this game back when GameStop. Yeah, we're old guys. Sorry, we're old. So back when GameStop used to sell in the case, they would still have NES games, and you could get them for a good deal. Like they were selling them. They were
pretty online from GameStop. They still sell NES games online.
Oh, I didn't know that. Cool.
Yeah, they've been doing it for a few years now.
So we were in our local GameStop, and I spotted that game, and I had to have it because you see Jason on the cover, on the art. So I bought that game for like $6, something like that.
PS3 is considered retro gaming now. Oh, so weird.
Crazy.
Anyway, keep going.
So we played that at my place, and I can remember playing it with Kyle. Actually, we used to hang out. I've known this guy for years, and we played it. We played it at my place. We were both kind of frustrated, but yet something about that game kept drawing us back because we did want to figure out how to beat it. But we would have moments where it was a love-hate relationship. We would get pissed one minute, quit the game, rage quit. Then we would go back. Then the next day we hung out. We'd play a little Zelda or something, and then we'd jump back into Friday 13th. And but we never. I don't think we actually beat it back then.
No, we've never beaten that game.
Recently, we down in our set after we were recording one night. Recently, we broke out my NES and we did speed run. We tried to speed run through that game.
Yeah,
I don't think we actually got through it, but we followed this. We know the formula now.
We beat him once.
We beat it once. Yeah,
you had to do it several times.
Yeah, but pretty much, if you guys have never played it, it's all right. It's actually, I think it is better than the than the one that was rushed, the current Friday 13th game that just came out. The annoying alarm goes off, so you have to go find the counselors. And it's usually it's the other end of the map, so you have to run to the yep, beep beep, and you have to run to the other end of the map. And then by half the time when you get there, he's hiding, and sometimes he's not even in the cabin. Usually he pops out when you go to that cabin, but if you collect the items in the right order, I believe that's the way you speedrun it. You have to follow the certain order of finding the keys, I forget, but we did it like last month, a few weeks ago we did it. Yeah, good. Definitely a fun game. I think that was my first game that I've played as a kid that was a horror game, or that was from a franchise. So that's why I thought it was so cool, because this is from the movie. But they had a lot of games for the NES based on movies. A lot of action games, right? Like action games like Terminator, right? They had Terminator.
There's this company called LJN that's famous for basically buying up licenses to all the different movies at the time and making really bad games, because they would just hire people really cheap out of college and whatnot that wanted some beer money to make these games, and they gave them literally just a couple weeks to a month to make these games and spit them out.
Yeah, just
that's why a lot of them are not great.
Was that actually you said that was made? Yeah, LGN. Was the Friday 13th? Yep.
Yep. They also did the Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yep.
They did a bunch of games, whole bunch.
Yep. All right. So, so that game, always have memories of playing that. It makes my list. All right. Back over to you, man.
All right. My next one. It's a side-scrolling shooter game. A little game called Contra.
Nice.
You ever play Contra?
Maybe with you. Let me hold on. I'm checking it out right now. Contra.
It's basically you're a dude with a gun. You're running basically to the right most of the time. Every time you get hit once, you die, and then you just basically instantly respawn right where you died.
Yep, that run and gun type of. Yep.
Yep.
I'm looking at the. Yeah, I've played this. I never owned it. Is it? I think it's on Switch.
Yep, they
Switch
just
Online,
recently,
right?
Yeah, that's a few months ago they released the Contra games.
Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
I'll have to check that out on. I'll have to check that on Switch Online. Don't get me started on the controller for. I do want to get the controller, I think, but now you can't get. Don't get me started. You know, I'm about to go off on a. You can't get those controllers that come with for the Switch.
The Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis ones were in stock, I guess, the other day.
And they already sold out?
Yeah. I mean, bots just buy them up, and then they can sell them. People sell them online for 3 to 4 times their value. So
yeah, because I'm on the wish list for the. It's on my wish list to get the N64 controller.
Yeah,
and I'm waiting. And I'm waiting for an email. Do you think they'll even send me an email when it's ready?
No, because by the time you get the email, it'll already be sold out. It's not going to matter.
Jeez, that's ridiculous.
Your best bet is to keep an eye on Wario64 on Twitter and see if he posts about it. He'll be faster.
Yeah, I usually follow him anyway. I have him on my notifications, and he shows up on my watch too. So when I'm at work, I can see it. But anyways, sorry to go off on the Contra games. Yeah, I'll have to stick with the Switch controller, and I'll try it out.
Yeah, the Contra games are really good. They're really, really fun. I don't know if the remakes have like online multiplayer. I mean, it's also one of the most famous, the Konami code. Like, you know the Konami code, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the up, down, left, right, like BA start.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game is like the first game to have it. That was the game for the Konami code. Yeah. I have beaten that game once without dying once.
Really?
It wasn't the original NES version. It was the Xbox version, the Xbox 360 version, because I got the achievement for it, so I have proof.
Nice.
But I used to play that a lot with our friend Nelson. That was one of our favorite retro games that you could play on the 360. We played
360 360 was such a great console, and it had a long life, very long lifespan.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, great game. I'm reading up on it a little bit now.
Yeah, Contra's a great game though. I highly recommend it. Even if you can't get it for like the NES, just get it for like the Switch then. Get the collection, because it's a lot of great Contra games in there, I believe. I haven't.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll check it out on my Switch.
Came in the anniversary collection again. It was what? Contra 1, Contra 2, and Contra 3. Which ones were in this one?
My Switch is right next to me. I should check the Switch Online right now.
A lot of them. Okay, it was Contra the arcade version, Super Contra, the original Contra, the Japanese version of Contra, Super C, Contra 3 Alien Wars, which is really good, Contra Operation C, Contra Hard Course, which is like one of my favorites, and Super Probotector Alien Rebels and Probotector.
Nice. I'm just checking. Were you in the Switch Online?
Yeah, I'm just looking at their website real quick because I was trying to refresh myself on the anniversary collection here. But yeah, that's that one.
I'm just checking. I'm on the NES Switch Online. There's Blaster. No, where's Contra?
The Blaster Master games are fun too. That was an honorable mention for me. Is Blaster Master?
Yeah, I'll check that out. I'll check those both out, Blaster Master and Contra. Surprised I didn't play it.
The Blaster Masters are really fun too. It's like a side-scrolling like tank, but you can also pop out of it as a little dude, and it becomes like a top-down shooter game when you're outside of the tank. It's pretty cool, pretty fun.
Nice. So my last 2 games have to do with two brothers. They're plumbers, and I think they're called like Sam, the Sam brothers or something like that.
Sam and Max.
Yeah, Sam and Max. Obviously, Super Mario, the original. I'll talk about that one first, real quick. The original Super Mario.
Oh wait, you're talking about Billy and Jimmy from what the heck is the name of the game? I've already ruined the joke. River City Ransom. There we go.
That's right. Yeah. So my
I think it's
last one was
Is it River City
River City
Ransom?
Ransom.
Is it River City Ransom? I think that's Billy and Jimmy in that one. Or in the third one, Bimmy and Jimmy. I'm getting everything mixed up now. That's Double Dragon. Also,
Okay.
a good NES game, though, I believe. I haven't played it in a long, long time.
Yeah, so what's a list?
Really bad movie about that. Anyway, we're getting way off topic.
Yeah. Now. So what's a ranking of the NES if you don't include the original Super Mario Brothers? That was, I believe, it was the release with the console, right? That was the first game. That's the game it launched with.
Yeah, it shipped with. Yeah, it shipped with that. Why, you're looking just for the release window games?
No, but that game, even though it is a release game, launch game, I should say, unbelievable. That I beat that game as a kid a couple times, and a few times at least. And then when I got the Switch online, I replayed it and beat it in like 2 nights. Not even. It might have been like 1 night. But I did cheat though. I used the save points on the Switch. The save point.
Wow.
But anyways, that game, so much fun. The levels, the castles, the Bowser's castles, all of them, the soundtrack, the theme. Dun, 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 dun. When you're in the castle. Dun, 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 dun. Love everything about that game. The maps. I think there was like 10 worlds maybe, or 8. No, I think there was 8 worlds in that game. Excuse me. I'm just checking now real quick, but
yeah, it's 8 worlds, and then you can replay the game. And there's like they swipe out the sprites for a lot of the enemies for the Super new game Mario. Plus.
I love the at the end of the castles. It can be frustrating at times once you get the hang of it, but you have to time it's all about timing your jumps. And at the end of the castles with Bowser or what's his name? Not actually Bowser, Cora, right?
Huh?
What's his name again? The boss?
Bowser?
No, not Bowser.
What other boss is in regular Mario Brothers?
I'm getting it confused now with Mario 3. The other Cora, what's his name? KOR or something. The other enemy.
What? I don't know who you're talking about.
At the end of the worlds.
Yeah.
When you're in the castles.
Mm-hmm.
You don't battle Bowser every time.
What? Which Mario Brothers game are you talking about? I think you're talking about 2.
No, maybe I am talking about 2.
Where you fight like the mouse, where you fight like Birdo and Mouser and Wart.
Yeah. But in Mario 1, it's Bowser every time. Right.
It was just Bowser, and you jump over his head or run underneath him.
Yeah.
Or if you're big and you want to just take being small, you just run right through him.
Well, obviously this isn't one of my favorites. If I can't remember, jeez.
You grab the little axe thing, and then the thing falls out from underneath him, and then when he hits the lava. In worlds 1 through 7, it's technically not Bowser. It's somebody in Bowser's disguise, but it's usually just like a random enemy, like a Goomba or a Koopa Trooper or something like that pops out. That's all.
Yeah. I was thinking. I must have been thinking Mario Brothers 2, but geez, guys, I'm beside myself right now.
And I still don't know who you're talking about though at all. Like the name you're saying, I don't even know what character that is in any Mario game.
Well, what's those little enemies again? They're in Mario Kart now. You can play as them.
The Koopalings?
Koopa, yeah, the little turtle.
So Lemmy, Wendy, Morton, Larry, Iggy, Ludwig, and Roy?
Yeah, you can play as those.
But none of those is the name that you said. And then there is Boom Boom in 3 also. He's the one that's in like the mid-castle bosses.
Yeah, sorry guys, I was way off.
You don't know any of their names.
I was way off. Anyways, the other part that I remember is the end of the. I love the end of the end of the world or end of the level where you jump on the flag and you get that one up if you land it just right on the flagpole,
the top of the pole.
Yeah.
And then if you have a double digit at the end, I believe you get fireworks that come out of the castles.
But I did not know that.
Based on the timer. And I believe might be your timer and your score if they match up the last 2 digits on the timer and the last 2 digits in your score or something like that. When you touch the flagpole, fireworks will shoot out of the castles after you're done with the flagpole animation.
Nice.
Speedrunners hate it because it eats up a couple seconds.
True. I do remember playing this with my dad. We would switch off Mario and Luigi. I think I played my next game. I played more than this one, so I know I recently replayed it on the Switch. But yeah, everything about these next two games, just definitely the best NES games is Super Mario Brothers, the original, and my next game that I'm going to talk about. But yeah, I'll switch it over to you.
All right. So mine is a little fighting robot. It's Mega Man, but not the first one. It's Mega Man 2. Everybody's favorite because it's just so good. Took everything that was great about the first Mega Man game and made it better.
Nice. Mega Man, yep.
Mega Man 2. Better, has better robots, has better controls. Just a better game overall. The music is like 1,000 times better. Has some of the best music of any of the Mega Man games outside of the X series, that is, and all the other series. But yeah, Mega Man 2, so good. So good. It's so good.
We have to. That's another game we have to try out at your place because I never owned that one as a kid.
I don't have a copy of it anymore. But yeah.
No. Well, we're gonna make a trip to Bowser's then.
You gotta find it. I mean, it's not super hard to find, and it's not like super expensive. I think it's like $30 or $40, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. In my last game, unless you have some more to say about Mega Man.
I mean, what is there not to say about Mega Man? But
I know, right? So my favorite game for the NES, no surprise, is Super Mario Bros. 3. If you look at that game, if you play that game compared to 1 and 2, it's night and day. It is awesome.
But is it? You do you even know who you play as? I mean, you seem to think that you play as like Mario and Luigi, but it's Wario and Waluigi.
It's Koopa.
You don't even seem to remember that.
It's the turtle. It's the turtle names there that I forget. It's the boomerang guy there. What's his name? Throws boomerangs at you.
Boomerang Cooper.
Boomerang Cooper. But that game, my dad and I used to play a lot. This was my first console. So back in 94, 95, rocking the Super Mario Brothers 3. Trying to think which worlds let me just pull it up real quick.
What? How many worlds are there? There's 8.
I'm trying to pull up my favorite world.
Oh.
3.
Well, there's World 1, which is like the basic stuff. World 2, which is the desert. World 3 is the water, I think.
Yep.
World 4 is ice. World 5 is
I remember World 1.
Small. World
1
6
Well,
is...
Yeah.
I'm trying to do this off of memory. World 6 is the one where the map is split up and you gotta use, like, a boat, I think, to get to the other parts.
Yeah.
World 7 is the one that we were stuck on forever when we were playing it the other day with all, like, the pipes and stuff you have to travel through. And then World 8 is Bowser's stuff. With all the, like, auto-scrollers and whatnot, and the hands that'll grab you at random. I don't know if I'm 100% accurate on that. I'm just kind of racking my brain.
Not bad for based off memery.
I don't know if that was 100% correct, though. I didn't actually look at it.
I just, as playing as a kid, I remember the first world, because I only had the attention span for the first world back then, and then I used to get to a couple of the other ones, but World 1 and then the water world, which was 3, right?
Oh no, so I was a little off. Yeah, 3 is water. I had big, small, and ice swapped. 6 is ice, and 4 is big, small.
And they did such a great job with the graphics in that game compared from 1 to 3. That was like the game that really brought the NES alive to it, what it was capable of in my eyes.
Yeah.
Great game. I love on World 1. I would never, my favorite level. It's the 3rd level in World 1 when you're sliding down the hill in the grass. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Love that level. But yeah, anyways, can't go wrong with Super Mario 3. I would have to replay it again and take my time with it to actually remember all the parts that I've playing it. It would come back to me, all the nostalgia as well. Yeah, but what do you think? What about your last game?
So my last game, it's a little game nobody's ever heard of it before, probably. It's called Tetris. Just
Never
like the best-selling game of all time ever. It's kind of a game that just gets forgotten by history. It comes out in basically every system at least once. But yeah, no, it's Tetris. Yeah. Everybody should know that game, even if Sean never played it for like 30 years of his life, which is still baffling to me.
Yeah, I know. That's just how I just how I butchered those Mario enemy names. But for some reason, I never played Tetris growing up. I started playing it recently, like five years ago, maybe.
Not even. It was probably like 3. Yeah. I think you started playing it when I showed you Tetris 99, when that came out.
So yeah, 3
or 4 years ago.
Yeah, I just never got into it as a kid. I never bought it. I was mainly playing N64. I was playing Mario Kart 64, Super Mario 64, GoldenEye. I was playing all those games for the N64.
You know there's a Tetris 64, right?
I'll have to add that to my collection. I have tons of N64. We'll have to do a future video of my N64 collection because I have at least 40, 50 games.
Yeah, well, you can play Tetris on literally anything at this point. You have it for Game Boy.
Yeah, that's my go-to before bed. I usually play because I'm too lazy. I don't like to bring my Switch into the bedroom. I leave it charged in the dock, so I have my Game Boy. I have my OLED.
You should pick up Puyo Puyo Tetris for Switch. It's so good. It's 2 different types of games. So it's Tetris, and then it's Puyo Puyo, which is sort of like Tetris, but not quite. It's slightly different because instead of the blocks being in the same spot, gravity will also affect like them. So like there's like a L-shaped block. The L part, if it wasn't touching something, it would drop down. And they're
Puyo Puyo Tetris.
It's more color based for the Puyo Puyos, and it's about making chains and stuff like that. It's kind of like Dr. Mario almost.
Yeah, I'm looking now at the.
It's really fun. It's got a story and everything. It's pretty cool. They released I think a sequel to it recently. It's like a long running series, also from I think started in like the Super Nintendo. There was just Puyo Puyo.
Yep.
And then they kind of combined recently. It's great. Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent on that. But yeah, Tetris, great game, great music. Anybody can play Tetris. It does not require any sort of skill levels. There's no needing
it's very addicting.
It's extremely easy to play, but hard to master. There's competitions that are still run to this day about the original Tetris where people play it.
One of the more current Tetris games that I'm sure you'll agree is awesome is Tetris Effect. It's on Game Pass, I think, too. But
yeah, it's on Game Pass. Yeah. It originally came out on the PlayStation 4 for VR, and then they came out with a non-VR version for that. I bought it on the Epic Games. No, not on the Epic Games Store. On the Oculus Store, because I was playing it in VR, which was an amazing experience also. And then I replayed it again when it came out through the Game Pass stuff, because it's just a great game. Yeah,
agreed. Even though I spent all those years without it, but I'm making up for it now. Definitely an awesome game.
Tetris Effect Connect is like the best version of it too.
It is. And last thing I'll say is I love that soundtrack to Tetris Effect.
Amazing.
It's very very relaxing too.
Yeah, it's an amazing soundtrack.
But anyways, we got through our top 10. And by the way, comment below your top 10 NES games. Were there any of our games on our list that we share that you agree with us? Also, your favorites, or do you have different favorites?
What did we miss? What would be your top 10?
Yeah. And we just hit 25 subscribers. We are halfway there. Whoa, living on a prayer. We're halfway there.
Be careful. You're sounding way too accurate. We may get copyright strike.
Yeah, I know. No one wants to hear me sing, but you might hear me sing on the live stream if we hit 50 and we do our celebration. You might hear me sing.
Heck yeah.
But keep it up, guys. Smash that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell for stay notified with our videos. Every Friday.
Next Friday. At 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
All right, guys. Have a great week, and thanks for watching.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.